The moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. After a journey filled with heartbreak, choices, and second chances, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 is racing toward its ultimate finale. And in episode 11, we are about to witness the most emotional and life-changing reunion of the series. Belly has built a fragile new life in Paris, Jeremiah has been forced to face his deepest flaws, and Conrad, lonely, broken, yet hopeful, has taken a leap of faith that could change everything. The question now is simple, but the answer will shake every character's future. Will Belly hold on to her new beginning with Bonrad, or will her heart finally surrender to the boy who has always been her forever? Paris was supposed to be Belly's escape. A chance to run away from the tangled history of Cousins Beach, the pain of broken promises, and the endless cycle of choosing between two brothers. In episode 10, we saw her fighting to adapt, her apartment messy and her work life chaotic, but there was something powerful about it too. Belly was finally learning what it meant to stand on her own. For the first time, she wasn't being defined by Conrad or Jeremiah, by love triangles or family drama. She was simply being Isabel, a girl determined to rebuild herself in a city where nobody knew her past. But even in Paris, the shadows of her old life followed her. Taylor's visit during New Year's Eve reminded Belly that she couldn't keep running forever. And when Bonrad entered the picture, it felt like the universe was giving her exactly what she needed, a clean slate, someone kind, attentive, and free of all the baggage that Conrad and Jeremiah carried. That kiss with Bonrad under the fireworks wasn't just romance, it was a symbol of Belly's decision to move forward. Yet, beneath the sparkle of new love, the past never truly let go. Episode 10 gave us a glimpse into her internal conflict. Choosing to stay in Paris for another year looked like a bold declaration of independence. Making peace with Jeremiah and exchanging postcards with Conrad suggested closure. But if that closure were real, then why did Conrad's small gestures still soften her heart? Why did she hesitate when thinking of a future that didn't include him? The truth is, Paris gave Belly strength, but it also created the perfect stage for destiny to strike again. And destiny did. Because Conrad, after months of silence, regret, and watching from a distance, made his move. The postcard Belly sent him wasn't just a thank you, it was a spark. And for a boy like Conrad, who has lived too long with regret, that spark was enough to ignite hope. As episode 10 closed, we saw him take the boldest step of all, leaving behind the safety of his solitude and traveling across the ocean to find her. This isn't just a casual visit. This is Conrad's last chance, and he knows it. The suspense lies in what happens the moment he stands in front of her. Belly believes she has moved on, but can anyone truly bury a first love that deep? When she looks into Conrad's eyes again, in the city of lights where she promised herself a new beginning, her entire carefully built world threatens to collapse. Because if Conrad came all this way, it means he is ready to fight. And if Belly listens to her heart instead of her plans, Paris may not remain the city of independence, it could become the city where her childhood dream is reborn. So the real question of episode 11 isn't just about who Belly chooses. It's about whether she can accept that love sometimes refuses to stay in the past. The finale is not just closing a story, it's confronting the truth she's been avoiding since that very first summer. And the moment Conrad and Belly face each other again, we know the fireworks in Paris will not just be in the sky, they will be in their hearts. If Belly's Paris story showed us growth and new beginnings, Jeremiah's journey revealed the painful collapse of someone who thought he had everything figured out. After canceling his wedding with Belly, it was as if Jeremiah's entire identity cracked open. He had always been the boy who laughed the loudest, who lived without thinking of tomorrow, who leaned on others to clean up his mistakes. But in episode 10, all of that came crashing down. The distance from Belly was only the beginning. What really shattered Jeremiah was losing the stability he had always taken for granted. His father cutting him off financially wasn't just about money, it was about being forced to finally grow up. For years, Jeremiah floated through life believing that charm and spontaneity were enough. But when the safety net disappeared, he had no choice but to face himself. The job he walked away from, the reckless kiss with a friend's girlfriend, the endless cycle of avoiding responsibility, all of it came back to haunt him. And yet, what could have destroyed him instead gave him the chance to transform. In the middle of his pain, Jeremiah found something he had never really known before: accountability. His conversation with Laurel was the turning point. For once, he stopped blaming circumstances, stopped hiding behind excuses, and admitted the truth. He wasn't broken because of Belly or Conrad or even his father. He was broken because he had never learned to stand on his own 2 feet. That confession didn't just heal part of his bond with Laurel, it gave us a glimpse of a Jeremiah who could finally rise from the ashes. But the most powerful moment came at his mother's grave, when he ran into Conrad. All season long, the brothers had been shadowboxing with their pain, too proud and too angry to reach for each other. Jeremiah had every reason to hate Conrad, to shut him out completely. Yet standing there, surrounded by silence and memories of the woman who had been their anchor, something shifted. Instead of fighting, Jeremiah chose forgiveness. He chose family. And in that moment, we saw a Jeremiah who wasn't just a heartbroken boy anymore, he was becoming a man. Still, the question lingers: has Jeremiah truly let go of Belly? On the surface, it seems like he has. His advice to Conrad to talk to her, his willingness to admit that maybe Conrad is the one for Belly, paints a picture of maturity. But emotions don't disappear so easily. He may say the words, but will his heart stay steady when he learns Conrad and Belly might reunite in Paris? Will he accept it with grace, or will jealousy creep back in when he realizes that the one thing he wanted most, Belly's love, is being reignited in front of his eyes? Episode 11 will put Jeremiah's transformation to the ultimate test. If he truly has grown, then he will stand beside his brother, even if it means watching his own dream slip away. If he hasn't, then the finale could turn into another storm, a last clash of emotions that could rip open the wounds he just started to heal. That's what makes Jeremiah's storyline so heartbreaking yet so compelling. Because while Conrad and Belly might be the couple we're all waiting for, Jeremiah's choices will decide whether this finale ends in harmony, or whether the brothers are destined to repeat the same cycle of rivalry forever. If Jeremiah's story has been about growing up, Conrad's has always been about carrying too much weight too soon. From the very beginning, he was the one who tried to protect everyone, fix everything, and hold the world together while silently falling apart inside. And in episode 10, we felt that heaviness more than ever. Conrad wasn't just lonely, he was haunted. Haunted by memories of Belly, by guilt over Jeremiah, and by the sense that no matter how hard he tried, he would always be the one blamed for breaking things. The little details told the whole story. The sweet letters he sent to Belly, filled with thoughts he could never say out loud. The constant check-ins with Taylor and Laurel, just to make sure Belly was okay, even when he pretended he didn't care. The quiet texts to Jeremiah on birthdays and holidays, even when he knew they might go unanswered. All of it painted a portrait of a boy who loved too deeply, but didn't know how to hold on without hurting. And yet, through all that heartbreak, there was something noble in his loneliness. Because Conrad's love was never selfish. Even when Belly pulled away, even when Jeremiah blamed him, Conrad never lashed out. Instead, he stayed in the background, sending kindness across the distance, hoping that somehow it might reach them. That kind of love isn't loud or dramatic, it's quiet, steady, and impossible to erase. The Christmas meeting with Stephen was one of the rare moments of light for him. To see that not every bridge had burned, that some relationships could survive the storms, gave him a glimmer of hope. But the most powerful moment came at their mother's grave, when he and Jeremiah finally let go of their bitterness. For the first time in a long time, Conrad wasn't just a boy carrying his pain alone, he was a brother again. And that reconciliation became the spark he needed to face the truth: he couldn't keep running from Belly forever. Then came the postcard. Simple, small, almost ordinary. But for Conrad, it was everything. A sign that she hadn't completely shut him out. That somewhere, across the ocean, Belly still thought of him. And when you've spent months drowning in silence, a single lifeline is enough to pull you back to the surface. The moment he held that card in his hands, we knew Conrad was going to Paris. And this is where the tension explodes. Because Conrad isn't just showing up as the boy Belly once loved. He's showing up as the man who finally understands what he wants. He isn't coming to Paris to linger on the sidelines or send quiet letters anymore. He's coming to fight for her, to put everything on the line, even if it means hearing the word no. Episode 11 will open with this collision, the past and present crashing together on the streets of Paris. Belly has told herself she's moved on. Conrad has convinced himself that it's not too late. And when they stand face to face, the entire weight of 3 seasons will hang in the air between them. Because no matter what Bonrad offers, no matter how much Belly wants to prove she can start fresh, we know one truth: Conrad has always been the boy she could never forget. But the real question is whether this moment will be enough. Will Belly let go of her carefully built future to embrace the love she once lost? Or will Conrad's leap of faith end in heartbreak once again? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: this meeting in Paris isn't just a scene. It's the heartbeat of the finale, the choice that will define how this story ends. Everything in The Summer I Turned Pretty has led to this moment. The heartbreaks, the promises, the betrayals, the reconciliations, every tear and every smile has been building toward Belly's final choice. And in episode 11, Paris becomes more than just a backdrop. It becomes the stage where destiny demands an answer. When Conrad arrives, Belly's carefully crafted world threatens to unravel. She has spent months convincing herself that she could build something new with Bonrad, that her past was just a collection of bittersweet memories. Yet, when she sees Conrad standing there, tired from the journey but with that unmistakable look in his eyes, the truth she's been running from crashes over her. Because no matter how far she traveled, no matter how many walls she built, her heart has always known its home. This doesn't mean her choice is easy. Bonrad isn't a villain. He's been kind, supportive, and has given Belly the stability she craved. And when she explains the situation to him, I believe he will show grace. He knows her history. He knows her heart. And deep down, he must have always feared that Conrad's shadow would return. His quiet acceptance may break our hearts, but it will also show us that sometimes, stepping aside is its own kind of love. Jeremiah's role in all of this cannot be ignored. For the first time, he isn't standing between them. In fact, he has already told Conrad to talk to Belly, already admitted that maybe his brother is the right one for her. That small act of surrender is monumental. It shows that Jeremiah has grown, that his bond with Conrad is finally stronger than their rivalry. And because of this, Belly's decision won't tear the brothers apart again. Instead, it will bring them to peace, an ending we've all been waiting for. The most powerful image we can imagine is Conrad and Belly walking side by side through the streets of Paris, not as broken teenagers unsure of their feelings, but as two people who have faced the storm and come out stronger. Their love isn't just about summer anymore. It isn't just about Cousins Beach, first kisses, or fleeting moments. It's about a future they choose together, fully aware of the pain it took to get here. And perhaps that's why marriage feels like the natural conclusion. Not because the series needs another twist, but because there's no time left for hesitation. Belly has grown in Paris. Conrad has healed through distance and reflection. Jeremiah has found maturity in letting go. With all the pieces finally in place, there's nothing left standing in the way of true closure. Whether they marry beneath the Eiffel Tower or return to Cousins to celebrate with their families, the symbolism will be the same: a love that began in childhood, tested by time, has finally found its forever. Still, the finale won't just be about romance. It will be about legacy. About how grief, mistakes, and heartbreak can tear people apart but also bring them back together. About how families fracture and heal, how brothers fight and reconcile, and how a girl who once defined herself by others finally learns to choose with clarity. Belly's final choice won't just decide who she loves, it will decide who she is. So as we step into episode 11, the anticipation is unbearable. Will Belly surrender to the boy who has always held her heart? Will Conrad's leap of faith finally be rewarded? Or will destiny, once again, find a way to break them apart? One thing is certain, the finale will not leave us the same. Because when Belly finally chooses, it won't just end a story. It will give us the ending to a love triangle that has defined every summer, every heartbreak, and every dream since the very beginning. And maybe, just maybe, this time the ending will be forever. As we prepare for the finale, it's tempting to believe that Belly's choice will tie everything neatly with a bow. But if there's one thing the summer I Turned Pretty has taught us, it's that love stories are rarely that simple. Even if Belly and Conrad walk into the sunset together, even if Jeremiah finds peace in letting go, even if Bonrad steps aside gracefully, the echoes of this love triangle will never truly disappear. Because these aren't just characters in a story, they're reminders of how messy, complicated, and beautiful real love can be. Think about it. Belly's first summer was about innocence and discovery. Her second was about heartbreak and mistakes. And this third has been about growth and finding herself. Each step has shaped her into someone new, and yet, the heart that beats inside her is the same one that once lit up when Conrad looked her way. That's why the finale carries so much weight. It isn't just deciding who she loves, it's deciding who she has become. And what about Jeremiah? Yes, he may be stepping aside now, but his journey isn't over. Growth isn't a destination, it's a process. He may tell himself he's over Belly, but emotions don't vanish with words. Will he truly stay strong when he sees Belly and Conrad together? Or will the old jealousy creep in, threatening to undo the peace he worked so hard to build? The finale could end with everyone smiling, but that doesn't mean the scars will fade overnight. As for Conrad, his leap of faith in traveling to Paris is just the beginning. Winning Belly's heart back isn't the end of his journey, it's the start of proving that he can hold on this time. Because the truth is, Conrad has broken Belly before. Love isn't just about a grand gesture, it's about consistency, about being there every single day, through chaos and calm. Episode May 11th reunite them, but the real question is, can Conrad be the man Belly needs when the glow of Paris fades and real life begins again? And then there's the future we can only imagine. Could Cousins Beach one day welcome them back as a family united instead of torn apart? Could weddings, children, and new summers rewrite the pain of the past into something beautiful? Or will Paris remain the place where their story truly began again, a symbol of second chances written under the glow of the Eiffel Tower? Whatever happens, one thing is certain, this finale is not just about an ending, it's about a promise. A promise that love, no matter how broken, can find its way back if the hearts involved are brave enough to fight for it. And as fans, we're not just watching a show. We're living through every choice, every heartbreak, every reconciliation. That's why this final episode matters so much. Because when Belly makes her choice, we'll all feel it. And whether you're on Team Conrad, Team Jeremiah, or simply Team Belly, we'll finally have the answer we've been waiting for since that very first summer. So hold on tight, because episode 11 isn't just the finale of a season, it's the finale of a journey that has defined summers, shaped hearts, and reminded us all of the unforgettable power of first love.